The New York Giants might have found a few gems in the later rounds of the 2020 NFL Draft. One interesting move the Giants made in the draft was selecting 4 linebackers in their final 5 picks. But not all linebackers are the same, and not all linebackers actually play the same position. Some linebackers play on the inside, and other linebackers play on the edge. Dave Gettleman might have found 2 diamonds in the rough during the 2020 NFL Draft. 2 of these linebackers, Cam Brown and Carter Coughlin, have key traits that make them very exciting prospects. But will they have an impact with the Giants, and are they good enough to see real playing time in 2020? Welcome back to Fireside Giants. I'm Anthony, and today we will be breaking down the film on Carter Coughlin and Cam Brown. In college, Carter Coughlin was a dominant edge rusher for Minnesota. He totaled 22.5 career sacks in 4 seasons, along with 40 tackles for loss and 8 forced fumbles. Pro Football Focus gave Carter Coughlin a pass rushing grade of 92.2 in 2018, which was the 3rd highest pass rushing grade they have ever given out for a single season. Coughlin had 51 total pressures and 9.5 sacks that season, with an impressive 19.1% pass rush win rate. So how on earth did a player with stats and grades like that fall to the 7th round? Let's break down the film and find out. There is a reason why Carter Coughlin was such a productive pass rusher at Minnesota. He has an array of pass rush moves. Oftentimes with late round edge rusher prospects, you see phenomenal athletic and physical talent with a very refined and raw game. Coughlin is actually quite the opposite. Carter Coughlin has very refined pass rush moves. He utilizes the bull rush, the swim move, the spin move, and anything else you can think of. He attacks with a plan, and when pass rushing, he has counter moves that he uses as well. Carter is also a very nimble pass rusher. I think he might lack a bit of speed, but he definitely has agility. He is very much a finesse pass rusher that prefers to go around linemen rather than go through them, but he has proven that he can use power as well. Check out this nasty bull rush. Coughlin also does an excellent job using his hands when pass rushing. He knows how to place his hands on opposing offensive tackles in order to gain leverage. The Giants have a bit of a crowded group of edge rushers on their roster. From Lorenzo Carter and O'Shane Ximines to Kyler Fackrell and Marcus Golden, there are already players ready to fill this position. I think Carter Coughlin works nicely as a depth piece and as a rotational pass rusher. He is a bit undersized, and we are about to get into his weaknesses in just a second, but that undersizing could make him a better fit at inside linebacker. Unfortunately, Carter's strength is in his pass rushing moves, which would be underutilized from the inside. Additionally, Coughlin barely played inside linebacker in college, so if he does make that position switch, he will likely need a year to learn and adjust. As I mentioned, Carter Coughlin is undersized for the edge rusher position. Pro Football Focus agrees with me, saying Coughlin's lack of size and length makes him an outlier at the NFL level. He's almost a sure thing to move off ball where we haven't really seen him play before. This is definitely my biggest concern with Carter Coughlin. He's 6 feet 3 inches and 236 pounds. He's a bit lean and has a lack of length and strength. In college, Coughlin made up for this with great bend around the edge and solid pass rushing moves. But in the NFL, where everyone is bigger, stronger, and faster, Coughlin could struggle. This is likely the main reason why Carter fell in the 2020 NFL Draft. NFL teams tend to stay away from players with undefined positions. Coughlin was listed as a linebacker entering the draft, but he played edge in college. He was listed this way because he actually has ideal size and athleticism for the inside linebacker position. But there is no guarantee he pans out at that position, being that he has never really played it. Still, I think Coughlin was a player the Giants could not pass up in the 7th round. He showed excellent traits as a pass rusher in college, playing in the same conference as Chase Young. The Giants should definitely look to utilize Coughlin's pass rushing ability, but his size is ideal for the inside linebacker role, so it is likely he will need to spend some time training for that transition. Another exciting linebacker prospect that the Giants landed in the draft is Cam Brown out of Penn State. He was selected in the 6th round. Cam Brown played all over the place for the Nittany Lions. The 3 main positions Brown played were off-ball linebacker, slot cornerback, and edge rusher. It was surprising to see a player the size of Cam Brown line up in the slot as often as he did. He logged 273 snaps at cornerback, but he was effective at that position. Brown's size in the slot made him a play wrecker when defending against wide receiver screens. Here is one of the most impressive plays I saw from Cam Brown on film. Brown is lined up as a slot cornerback directly in front of the receiver, ready to play press coverage. As soon as the play begins though, Brown recognizes the wide receiver screen, keeping his eyes in the backfield and watching the quarterback. The ball is thrown and a wide receiver attempts to block Cam Brown. Brown, being the size of a linebacker, is too much for this receiver to handle. He easily sheds the block and makes a solid tackle for loss as soon as the intended receiver makes the reception. This play showed pretty phenomenal play recognition and versatility out of Cam Brown. But this is not the only time Cam Brown blew up a wide receiver screen. I saw him do this quite a few times actually. Cam Brown has a lanky, slender build. He possesses 34-inch arms ranking in the 94th percentile amongst linebackers. Brown is 6'5" and weighs 223 pounds. He's very fluid at his size and has excellent athletic traits that could mold him into a solid defender. Cam Brown has the traits for a modern-day NFL coverage linebacker. He is tall and lengthy, but he still has much to learn before he is ready to see the field in an expanded role. Brown was asked to do a lot for Penn State, as I stated earlier. He lined up all over the place and was forced to be highly versatile. Versatility is something that Joe Judge values, but a simplified role could serve Cam Brown well. Brown is really agile and has great burst and closing speed. This, combined with his physical traits, give him great potential as a coverage linebacker. He has experience playing cornerback as well, which should help him. Cam Brown is worth comparing to Lorenzo Carter. Carter is another athletic, lanky edge rusher on the Giants. He has shown flashes as a pass rusher, but he really fits the mold of a coverage linebacker better. I think this is the same case for Cam Brown. Brown can rush the passer at times, but he has the perfect length and athleticism to cover tight ends. He just needs to refine his coverage skills so he can do this in a game. When rushing the passer, there is a lot of potential for Cam Brown. He has some pretty decent pass rushing moves already, and with NFL coaching he could really expand his already decent skill set. Brown is a speed rusher with finesse to get around tackles. He has active hands and a nice swim move that he likes to utilize. He also has the spin move in his rushing attack. The biggest flaw in Cam Brown's game is his tackling. Brown is really inconsistent here. The main reason why is his poor tackling form. Cam Brown has an aggressive head-first style of play. I say that quite literally. Brown has a terrible habit of leading with the crown of his helmet and diving headfirst into runners. This is a highly dangerous habit that could lead to serious injuries. The Giants absolutely have to coach this habit out of Cam Brown in order to protect him from injuries. In the film I watched on Cam Brown, I rarely saw him make an impact in the run game. Brown is tall, lanky, and quick, but he does not have his frame fully filled out just yet. Cam is quite slender and lacks upper body strength. He can easily be managed out of the way by oncoming blockers. Cam Brown is not able to shed blocks that well. If he is going to be an inside linebacker in the NFL, he should add strength and muscle and work on his block shedding. Otherwise, he will really only be effective in obvious passing situations. Overall, it is not hard to see why Cam Brown and Carter Coughlin fell in the draft. They do have obvious flaws in their games, but both players do have key traits that make them special and that could make them impactful players on the Giants. The Giants got lucky to land these prospects, like Brown and Coughlin, in the final 2 rounds of the 2020 NFL Draft. I think both of these players have a future on this team, and I think both players have a lot of potential if they are able to improve on some of the things they struggle with. Thank you for watching this film breakdown by me, Anthony Rivardo, and Fireside Giants, an Empire Sports Media production. Be sure to subscribe for more film breakdowns just like this, as well as a ton of excellent New York Giants and NFL content. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment what player you want to see me break down next, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss a video. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.